the trend will disconnect you from your readers. Stick to what you know. Stick to what you know you're good at. Stick to your strongest points. You can evolve and develop your weakest points, but don't use your pool of followers as that test pool. Unless you have a more freely cultivated area, then you can go ahead and do that. But if you have them dialed down to what you're good at, keep them at what you're good at. Love what you're writing. Never substitute substance for subject. Let it have heart in it. Let it be something good. That's also working around understanding how the concepts work and content and being fluent. It still doesn't mean you have to change what you love. I love mixed martial arts. I have a background in competition. I have a background in training. And so as I develop these scripts and contents for the podcast I have coming up, The Fight Effect, which is not out yet, but will be airing soon, I am still, beta testing the way my written content will be exposed, because though I love it and I am very knowledgeable on it, I don't want to approach the content ignorantly. So I still am fluent. I still am concepts openly concepted. I'm not. I love what I write, and I know that changing for the reader is important, but I'm not letting go of my subject and my opinion. I'm just approaching it in a more massive way, rather than believing that I'm my only demographic. If I take myself as my only demographic, well, then I'm going to be the only reader of that content. So, write an article you feel connected in. If you're going to write an article, a blog, a blurb, whatever it is, write something you're connected to. That usually has the least amount of fluidity and change to it, because if it's something you are knowledgeable in, love, it's easy. Allow yourself to grow. Creativity changes. You will always grow. You always develop new skills, new vocabulary, more knowledge. Allow yourself that. Don't keep yourself parametered. Allow that growth of yourself and ability to show it off. When you're a writer, show that stuff off, man. You need that. Negative comments will always find their place in your comment box. So don't let that stuff hinder you. Some people will not find your work entertaining. Society is peppered with the occasional douchebag or asshat. So they're out there. They're salted in. So, and everyone has that one, we all have that one know-it-all guy, or guy or girl with Wi-Fi access. Don't, leave it alone. Don't engage. Unless they are right. If they're right, I'll call people out and say, hey man, you're right. But everything I do, I heavily research. I research statistics. I research actual white. We have the white pages of the industry, and I go out for actual leaders. And there's tons of people that aren't on the show yet, on air, that I haven't interviewed yet, that I have spoken to. For example, when I talk about content marketing, article writing, and journalism, I've spoken to Joe Stroop recently. We were supposed to record, but we both had software issues, and now that we are upgrading our software, it's a nightmare. Podcasting is a pain. So allow yourself the ability to wash it off your back. It's like I said, thick skin is an armor. We all wear it proudly. You can get yours. Wear it out there. It's fine. There are a few people who just rather showcase their lack of self-respect for art, like writing. Some people don't understand it. Some people think they know it all because they've been published in a technical magazine one time. So I am the master of publishing. That's not true. Take somebody who knows the industry. We consult all the time because we held the number one slot in publishing for a very long time, and I still learn new things every day from somebody who actually knows what's going on. But I am also seeing very inaccurate comments, answers, responses. So don't take a lot of things with a grain of salt if they're being rude and offensive, unless your content's rude and offensive. Then at that point, you deserved it. Don't be a dick. They won't be a dick back. But there's always that one person. So, there's a lot of writers out there that never attracted the almighty eye of the Google. Don't let them explain to you how traction works and SEO works and ranking systems work. if they haven't figured it out, if they don't know, if they don't have success, don't listen to them for success advice. Research. That's just how it is. If they have no clue, no one reads them. Is what it is. But so that's just common mistakes that I see. We have a lot more things coming up. Publishing, just different tips and tricks in publishing, marketing, how to approach the media world, the easiest ways to do it, press release things, and how to build an email list. We have a lot of cool things coming up, guys. Go check out our shop. We have some really cool shirts up there on the shop that we just put out, new designs. We are a Pod Mob Media Group family member, so check out the Pod Mob. That's the THEPODMOB, thepodmob.com. They have some really cool stuff too, and they have some really great things. If you guys are really interested in promoting your book or having your book reviewed, come ask us. We would love to do that stuff. And pretty soon we'll be hosting a contest. More details on that later. The winner will have a full strategy consultation for their writing, book publishing, business, live on air with me and my partners who have won awards for our strategy, marketing, and our unique ways of doing it that are very low budget. So, if you win, you get free consultation from us where you can keep your dollars in your pockets while making more and attracting customers. It's kind of our deal. So, guys, check it out and stay tuned. You'll be hearing from Cynthia MacGregor with her Right Now.
Hi, this is Cynthia MacGregor with your Right Now feature. Today, the subject is common errors. Whether you write fiction or nonfiction, you can be the victim of common errors such as dangling modifiers. What's a dangling modifier? Well, most commonly, it's a phrase at the beginning of a sentence that seems to refer to somebody or something other than what you intended. Let me give you two examples. One is, lodged between two drawers, the detective found the missing will. Now, obviously, the writer meant to say that the missing will was found by the detective lodged between two drawers. That, of course, is a passive sentence, and you want to avoid that also. So, how about the detective found the missing will lodged between two drawers? But the way I originally presented it, erroneously, lodged between two drawers, the detective found the missing will, the phrase seems to refer to the detective. Was the detective really lodged between two drawers? Now let's take another example. Scuba diving in the Gulf, the fish were brightly colored. If you stop and think about what I explained to you in the last example, can you see for yourself what's wrong in this one? The fish weren't scuba diving, but the way the sentence is set up, it seems they were. Scuba diving in the Gulf, the fish were brightly colored. The fish is the noun that follows the phrase, and so grammatically it refers to the fish. But that's not what the writer intended. So it should be, while she was scuba diving in the Gulf, she saw many brightly colored fish. Or, when I went scuba diving in the Gulf, I saw many brightly colored fish, or something like that. But it was not the fish who were scuba diving. Pay attention to your dangling and other misplaced modifiers. They're a very common but very wrong mistake. One other mistake I want to point out briefly is not being consistent throughout your book or story. For example, I read somewhere an example of a book. I don't know what book it was. I didn't read the book itself. but it talked about, the example talked about a book in which early in the book we are introduced to a character named Danny the Pirate who had lost his arm some years back, I don't remember how. And then later in the book, he's using both his arms. Well, he doesn't have two arms, he only has one. You've got to be consistent with your characters. Don't give them blue eyes in the beginning and then have them wink one of their brown eyes at someone. Be consistent throughout. That's all for today. Till next time, this is Cynthia MacGregor reminding you to pass a smile along.